there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Focus on the right woman for you. Focus on the right woman for you. You know what? There's all this talk about like these women out here, these 304s and these, modern women and all of that. Look, and I've talked about this subject before, but I got to really reiterate, especially for some newer people, just focus on the right woman for you. See, the woman who is right for you, she's going to match what you're about. She's going to be in cooperation to your operation. Most of these women out here aren't for you, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's 4 billion women in the world. All you have to do is focus on the ones that are right for you. See, a lot of guys, they talking about, well, look at this woman, well, she a single mom, or look at this woman, she doing this, she slept with 100 men. Okay, well, if you don't want to deal with a single mom, just don't deal with them. If you don't want to deal with a woman who's been with a bunch of men, just don't deal with them. In fact, if you keep running into women you don't want to deal with, what do I always say? Only thing they had in common is you. See, your first relationship is with yourself. I've said that constantly. Your first relationship is with yourself. And as a man, you got to know who you are. As a sovereign man, you got to know who you are, what mission you on, what you doing. Now, for all the content creators who are talking about be on your mission and everything, I agree with them. Because you got to know which woman is going to fit into that mission, whatever you're doing. Now with her mission, like she could have a mission, you could support her, but you're the main mission. You got to stay with it. And that ain't being selfish. If somebody call that selfish, or someone say, hold up, stop. If somebody say, well, you about yourself, well, you got to live with yourself. You the one who got to go and do a bunch of stuff. So you got to be doing what you're about. You got to be on your mission and everything. The show got to go on with you. All right? The show got to go on with you. You got to keep doing what you're doing. If you know that your mission is to build a business, okay, what type of woman is going to be there for you? What type of woman is going to stick there with you through thick and thin, which means, you know what, you might not be able to take her out like that. You might have to put in long hours. Which woman is going to fit into that? Or, you know what, like there's a big thing about women that wanting to have babies now, but you want a legacy. All right, the right woman for you wants to be a mother, and there's plenty of them out there. See, the thing is, you want to focus on the right woman so you don't waste time with the wrong woman. See, a lot of guys get caught up with the wrong woman, well, because she fine and everything. She look good. Okay, that's fine. And yeah, you want that in a woman, but you got to understand, just like a woman looks at every aspect of a man, you got to look at every aspect of a woman. Too many guys just get that one woman, she fine, and then think they're going to change her into what he wants. You even get some guys, they'll comment and say that. Nah, that's a waste of time. That's a waste of energy. That's why a lot of men get burned. You don't want to do that. When you meet that woman, y'all need to talk. When y'all go on that date, you need to say, it ain't going to be just like you just trying to impress her to get in her panties. Shit, she need to be impressing you to get into your life. You need to talk to her, see where she going, what her values are. Yeah, she got a fat ass, but okay, so what? Now, if that's all you want from her, you think you can get it, that's one thing. But see, this information for guys who trying to go further. Everybody ain't trying to be player. You got plenty of men, they trying to do some real stuff with their life. They trying to build a legacy. They trying to build a business, a career, whatever. You trying to be on mission. So which woman is going to be in submission to your mission? And when I say that, I don't mean she going to be some doormat. She going to help out. That's what she going to bring to the table. Let me talk about that for a second, because you get some women out here going with the idea, all they had to do is bring themselves. Bullshit. Let me say that again, bullshit. And if you run into a woman like that, she ain't for you. That's a woman that's gonna work you to death, and she ain't gonna give you anything back. Because she got the little girl thought of she just gonna be there. Nah, she gonna have to add something. She don't necessarily have to bring money or anything like that. At the very least, she need to add some real psychological support. She need to bring you some peace. Shoot, if you out there trying to build a business, what's she trying to do to help you build that business? You know? And if you want a legacy, is she gonna be a good mother? You gotta think, what do you want? Like the first thing before you even go look for a woman, you need to look in the mirror and say, what do I want? What do I want? What am I about? And then what'll happen is once you start focusing on your mission, you will subconsciously put out a broadcast for the type of women who can fit into that. And I'm gonna tell you how deep it is. When you walk in a certain way, you got a certain drive and everything, it's gonna push away the women who ain't gonna help you. Ain't a bad thing. As I've said before, rejection ain't a bad thing. There's 4 billion, if there's 4 billion women in this world and you have an abundance mindset, there's plenty who fit into your plans. Now, you gonna meet them every single day? Probably not, but that's okay. Because every single day, your main relationship is with yourself and you focus on what you gotta do. Nah, you gotta like say, wait a minute, this is what I'm doing. I need a woman who's gonna fit into this plan. As I said, it's not even about just how fine she is. You should be beyond that. Now, if, like I'm talking, like my main audience is between 25 and 34. By the time you're 25, you should at least, when you're 25, you should at least be thinking about what your main mission is. By the time you're 34, you should be on your main mission. So in that age range, it ain't all about partying and stuff. If you want to do all that, okay, go do that. But if you're trying to build a legacy, if you're trying to build something, you're trying to make your mark on this world, you're trying to be a sovereign man, you need the right woman. Don't waste time with some woman who ain't gonna bring anything or is gonna take something from you. Don't focus on a woman who's gonna be a liability and not an asset. Get off of all of that right now. Get off of that. Just get out of that thought. Just focus on the woman who is going to be in cooperation to your operation, who's going to help you to build, who's going to bring some tangible stuff. She's going to help make your life better. Like I said, you get some women, they feel like they just got to just show up. Please. They need to grow up. In fact, you don't need a little girl. You don't need a little girl. You need a grown-ass woman. A grown-ass woman knows she got to bring something. And I don't care about those, that ain't the right woman for you. Because think about something, I want y'all to think about it like this. You a man who's working, you bringing you doing all this good stuff in your life, you working hard. You don't want a woman who's going to bring a problem. You're working too hard for that bullshit, and there's too many out there. There's women out there who want to be traditional. There's women, if that's what you want. And if you want a power couple, there's women out there. Whatever you want. See, let's focus on that. Whatever you want, focus on that. But first, you got to know yourself first. Then you can know the right woman for you. All right? So anyway, that's all I have for today. I want y'all to think about it. Peace and blessings.